Hello everybody and welcome to Technology Lair. Have you ever been caught in a situation where you think that your Wi-Fi router's security has been compromised or your username and password have been hacked by someone and he's accessing the internet from your router? What you should do in such scenarios? One of the best methods to overcome the security issues using the username and password is the MAC filtering. That is the access control inside your Wi-Fi router. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to configure MAC filtering or how to configure your access control. Now, what is MAC filtering? MAC filtering is nothing but your wireless router will authorize the connection when it matches the hardware address, that is your MAC address of your device. So if you are having a device, you'll always have a MAC address associated with it. So once you configure that MAC address inside your router, the router will check before setting up a connection. So if your MAC address matches, then only your connection will be set up. Even if you are trying to access with a authorized username and password and your MAC address doesn't matches, so it will not allow you to connect to the internet. The first important things is, first you need to get the MAC address of the device which you want to add in the MAC filtering list. So in your Windows machine, you can go to the network and sharing center. It's inside your control panel. Inside control panel, you can go to network and sharing center. Just click on it, and here in the adapter settings in the left hand side, just click on this option, change the adapter settings, and here you'll get your Wi-Fi card or your Wi-Fi symbol. So just double click on this and click on details. Now this will give you an MAC address. This physical address is nothing but your MAC address. So just make a note of this address. So I've taken the note of my MAC address. So this is my MAC address, and if you want to find the MAC address of your Android phone, you can refer this image. In the settings, you'll find an option of about phone. Just click on about phone. You'll get the different options. Click on the status option, and here in the status option you'll find the Wi-Fi MAC address. Here you see that it is separated by a colon. So just copy this and remove the colon, and instead of colon use the dash sign or the hyphen sign. So once you get the MAC address, the next step is you need to connect your laptop to your Wi-Fi router using a LAN cable. So this is your router. I'm using a TP-Link router. So the basic idea of MAC filtering is same across all your routers, whether you're using a D-Link or a Linksys router. You'll find options differently inside your user interface of your router, but the basic idea, the basic terminology will be same. I'm using it on a TP-Link router. You can refer the manual of your router also, but for TP-Link and all other routers, more or less every option is same. So just connect to this yellow port your LAN cable with your laptop and open the browser and type in the address as 192.168.0.1. So here you can see this is the address. If this address is not working for you, replace this 0 with 1. Hit enter. It will ask you for a username and a password. By default it is admin, and the password also is admin. Click on OK. So this will log into the user interface of your router. Now in the left hand side you can find access control. So just click on access control. Here you can find enable internet access control. So just click on this and make sure the allow is enabled and click on save. The second option is the host. In the left hand side, click on host. So I've already added one MAC address. I'll delete this and I'll add a new address. So we have already copied an MAC address I'll change this option from IP address to MAC address. I'll paste the MAC address, the MAC address should be here, and the description. I'll give it host1. I'll save this. Now here your MAC address added successfully. There are different options here. You can see it is targeted and scheduled. So you can, in the targeting, there is nothing to worry. You can leave this as it is. You can also edit the domain names for your host which you have added. So specific domains will be accessible. And in scheduling, you can schedule your host to access for a specific time also. I'll leave this all thing default. So we have added the host here. Now once again go to the rule, and below here you need to add a new rule. So I'll give it as rule 1, and the host which we have added, it will appear here. So the host is host1 which we have added, the first MAC address, and the target is any target, anytime, and status is enabled, and click on save. So here you can see our host1 rule is created for host1. Now whenever I'm connecting my laptop to the Wi-Fi router or any connection, the first thing it will check the MAC address. If the MAC address doesn't matches, it will not allow me to access the internet from my Wi-Fi router. You can add multiple hosts. I've shown you how to check the MAC address of your Android phone. Also you can list number of different hosts here. You need to write different hosts, and you need to create different rules for your hosts. So in this way you set up your access control management, and in other ways it's also known as MAC filtering. So we'll test this. First I'll try to access it with the normal settings. So just make sure it is saved, and you can close this router. So here you can see, if I type in any website, I'm able to access the internet. So our router is checking the Wi-Fi connection, and even if the username and password is correct, it will match the MAC address. Now what we'll do is we'll change the MAC address and try to see if that thing is working or not. So what I'll do is I'll go to the access controls, and in the host section I'll edit the connection, and I'll give something different, and I'll save this. Oh, it's showing as an invalid address. So I have changed the last alphabet from D to E. Now let's check once again if it's allowing this connection or not. Now I'll try to connect YouTube. So here you can see, even if my password is right, here you can see that I am connected to my Wi-Fi router. Though my username and password is correct, it is not allowing me to connect to the internet because it is not matching the MAC address which is in the list with the MAC address of my Wi-Fi card. So once again I'll go to the hosts, and I'll change it accordingly. So it was D, and I'll save it, and I'll close the router. And now when I am trying to connect, it will connect because my MAC address is in the list. In this way you apply MAC filtering to your Wi-Fi router. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel for the latest tips and tutorials on internet, Android, Linux, Oracle. Once again,